Well, we've made it to DC.
Yeah.
No problems.
No problems, right on time.
And this is our cab driver, Abraham. Hello, Abraham. Say hello to Australia.
Hi.
He's very, very informative.
Yeah.
He's been here 30 years.
Yeah. What happened?
You said traffic was bad. Easier to walk. Far quicker to walk.
Yeah.
A lot of rain here recently.
You didn't get any flooding from it, though?
They got it on Alexandria, Virginia.
Right.
Near the Potomac River.
Yeah.
But not much.
Not too much here.
It's not bad.
Abraham just says this is the IRS building.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the IRS.
Yeah, you don't mess. You mess in trouble.
Yeah. Welcome to Washington, DC, the capital of the most powerful country in the world. Even with all its economic woes, it's still the most powerful country in the world. Who knows in a few years watching this whether it'll still be the case. It's the White House, obviously. I don't really need to tell you all this stuff. The sitting president is Barack Obama. Okay, in the next year or two you're going to say we know that already, but in the future you're going to have to be reminded. This DC is beautiful. We just walked from our hotel, which is only a few blocks away. It's clean, there's a lot of parkland, there's a lot of men and women in grey suits, really important looking people going in through really important looking doors into really important looking buildings. Of course it's the home of the federal government. So we're going to take a little look around. It's now 3:15 in the afternoon and we've got a lot to get through before we leave. It's Thursday afternoon, September 15. We've got a lot to get through between now and Saturday morning when we get on a train to go to New York. So let's get into it. I thought it would be bigger. You don't agree?
Well, not really. I kind of was thinking about this, but I also think there might be a fair bit around the other side.
Oh, there would be. I agree with you there. But the actual facade, the front, it's a bit like Graceland. That's nothing like as big as it looks in video and television.
Yeah, true.
We've walked about a dozen blocks north because we need a suitcase.
Yeah, we do.
We're overloaded. Now we're in the middle of the actual DuPont Circle. And there's a lot of avenues coming off this baby. Including the one that goes down to our hotel. It's either that one, or that one. My guess is it's the middle one. We'll go and find out.
Hey, we'll find one.
Now we're trying to look for our hotel, and this is sort of around the corner. We're not looking for it, we're ambling towards our hotel, and this was around the corner. We haven't lost our passport or anything, but if we did, this is where we come, huh? Friday, September 16, 2011. And yesterday afternoon, after we did the White House piece, we wandered around for a while. Didn't get to any of the sites because it started raining, didn't it, BB?
Yeah, it did a bit, got a little bit wet.
But we just walked around the shopping and business districts and had a bit of a look around. Came across the embassy as we saw. But today it's bright and clear and only about 65 degrees, which is a cool change compared to what we're used to. So we're off, up and at 'em. After I've had a quick peruse of the Washington Post over a coffee.
We're standing outside the White House and looking in, as we did before, a lot quieter than it was yesterday, mid-afternoon, because we're still early morning.
It's only 8 o'clock. Anyway, welcome to DC. This is our tour for the day, start of it. It had to be heavily edited because everyone's seen all the sites on TV before.
Yeah.
It's the rural stuff the fans want.
I know, well this is the big name stuff, but we've got to see that too.
Exactly. Look closely and you can see about there, hard to see through the viewfinder, they had to build it in two different stages. So there's a different shade in the stonework. Of course, one thing we cannot replicate on the video camera is a sense of smell. We've just walked past this little farmer's market here at the Department of Agriculture, and it just took me back to my childhood. Sense of smell does that, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Because there's the
strongest sense.
Yes, there's a strong smell of toffee apples and fairy floss in the air. It reminded me of the Katanning show back in the day. Amazing. This is pretty cool right here. This is a scale model of Washington. That's where we are at the moment, in the information centre. All right, and we're just about to go and have a look at the Air and Space Museum. Then we go up to the Capitol. Right, help me out here, video camera, don't lose focus. There we go, there's the Capitol. Then we'll walk all the way down the mall. This is my plan anyway. Back past the Washington Monument, which we've seen already. All the way down the reflecting pool to the Lincoln Memorial. Then we're going to go and do the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Okay, and then we'll walk back over this way. There's the White House, and our hotel is right there on Vermont, just as it goes out of the mall, right at the end of Vermont there. So that's pretty cool right there. It's all within easy walking distance of our hotel. So we'll probably end up walking 10 k's, but that's good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's go and see the Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian.
Go and see that now.
So the security guy there, as we came into the Air and Space Museum here in the Smithsonian, when I realised they were going to x-ray my bag, I went, oh geez, I've got my little Swiss knife that I've had for years and years. I got in Switzerland. I should have left it in the hotel, and I said, man, I've got this knife. He says, where's this knife at? And I showed him. He goes, man, just take it with you, man. You're not going to be doing much damage with that. Oh, there it is. That's the Spirit of St. Louis. Hopefully we can see it up there a bit better. Charles Lindbergh, there he is, the man there. Flew that plane from New York to Paris. The first man to fly across the Atlantic in 1927. Yeah, it's tiny compared to Smithy's Southern Cross. More about that in a second. Smithy. And here's where it all started. Kitty Hawk, December 17, 1903. That's oval right on the wing. That's the famous photograph of the first flight. It was only 12 seconds long. By the end of the day, in their fourth flight, Wilbur here had gone 59 seconds. And this is the actual Wright Flyer. It's been here in the Smithsonian since 1948. It's a little 12 horsepower engine. Orville and Wilbur weren't strapped in, they had to hang on. Keep in mind they were on the beach in thick sand. They are bicycle hubs. And they had this little slingshot runway thing built and able to sling it forward to get it into the air. But that's it right there, the world's first ever airplane.
That was exactly the day 5 years later when
There's the aforementioned Spirit of St. Louis. Tiny little thing. I once described it as not being too much bigger than my Land Cruiser. You'll understand the distance that Lindbergh flew across the Atlantic. Nothing like that had ever been done before. He navigated himself. Indeed, this plane to America is what the Southern Cross is to Australia. Lindbergh was the complete opposite, polar opposite of what Charles Kingston Smith was. At least with Smithy, you knew what you saw was what you get. With Lindbergh, he was a very, very strange man, but you know, a considerable achievement, that's for sure, in the history of aviation. And there it is, a big trimotor, but for all the world it looks like a Fokker, i.e. the Southern Cross, doesn't it? For those of us that know what the Southern Cross looked like. Bean and Matt, Dad, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's a Douglas DC-3 from 1936. So they'd come a long way in 10 years. The big Boeing 747. It's a wonderful museum. Did I mention it's completely free? Flight deck of the 747. It's an airmail plane, Northrop Alpha from 1930. The Boeing 247 from 1934. The flags signify all the countries that Lindbergh flew the St. Louis into. After first flying it to France. And there it is, the actual Skylab. The rocket actually goes down up through 4 floors. Oh, nice one. We've got another entry for him. 1978 Skylab drops crap all over Western Australia. Yeah, he's funny. I know. Pretty funny. There's another look at Skylab, America's only space station. And there it is. That's what they came down in.
Incredible.
Yeah?
Absolutely incredible where that's been.
A big parachute on top and landed down near Florida there, just south of Daytona, Cape Canaveral. Yeah.
Just really the technology involved in what they did to get that to go where it did. It's just incredible.
65 years and 7 months from December 17, 1903 to July 20, 1969.
Yeah.
To fly and to go to the moon.
Yeah.
And there it is right there.
Shows the tenacity as much as anything, that once humans get their teeth into something, they won't let go.
That's Skylab, by the way. That's the one that dropped some debris on Balladonia. Jimmy Carter rang him and said, sorry about that. And they said, well, we're going to send you a bill for littering. And he laughed, but they did pay it. That's the story anyway. That's the toilet. This is inside Skylab. Exercise bike. Oh, it is actually an exercise bike. Oh, it's only mucking around.
This is the shower.
There's the shower, collapsible shower stall.
I've been swimming in there. Like that?
And right, food storage lockers. Fridge. Not very big in there. It looks bigger from the outside. The rest of it's all machinery. It's been here a very long time. I said before, here is how it all started. Willie Ethel was German. He was hanging on there, by the way. He's not strapped in. It's an early glider. He had a look at birds and things, and he was killed in that thing, by the way. Oh yeah, that's a Blériot. It's not the Blériot that he flew, that Blériot himself flew from Calais to Dover in 1909. The wealthy French industrialist, Blériot. He had some balls, that bloke. I'm sure Matt will agree, having read the story. What it's got to do with America, I'm not sure, because this is American museum. Trust me on that. Sure you can believe it. Curtis motorbike. Glenn Curtis. Anyone that's read anything about the Wright brothers knows about Glenn Curtis. He was their chief rival. And he had some balls too. He built his own planes. The problem for him was he always did it second. The latest thing for him was always behind the latest thing the Wright brothers had done. Don't walk in front of a low-flying Airbus.
But I might do it at the moment.
I don't think I would qualify.
What's the cockpit? Look at the difference in size. The guy? Oh, it's like cockpit.
So where's the welcome? Special people that fly these sort of things.
No, it's an exit. That's an exit over there.
Did you see what they were serving over there on the American flight?
No.
Go and have a look. Classic. A lot of work's gone into that. Building a hand built, obviously. Look at the bags up above. And that was a Boeing. Must have had a Heinz sponsorship. Very innovative.
Yeah, good steak, that one. And corn, I would think. Pecan pie.
It hasn't come a long way. It's about like that still.
Yeah, it hasn't altered too much.
Although you might not get a big piece of meat like that now.
Yeah, that would be hard to get a piece of meat that takes over half the little dish, to be honest. You wouldn't get that. The full red carpet meal.
Kanske vi uppfördes. Vänta.
Oh, we missed Gallery 105, a golden age. This is where Smithy was completely dominant. The 1935 Hughes H1. $1935. Looks a bit old for 1935, but there you go. The Lincoln Star. This was, sorry, the Polar Star. The Polar Star. Lincoln Ellsworth was his name. There's a picture of him. He was a great rival of our man George Wilkins. Sir Hubert Wilkins, as he was known in Australia later. Hey, old George Wilkins gets a mention. He's old George, the man amongst men. They don't mention at all that he was Australian, but that's fair enough. That there is the Detroiter, it's called. It went on to become the Southern Cross. Smithy got a hold of it, rebuilt it, and the rest is history.
Absolutely. This is what he did with it.
There's no photo of him.
That's in here, second on the right. It's there.
There's the king. And that's it.
That's it.
That is the Capitol building. And just where that flag is there is where all the presidents give their inauguration speeches. Just the most recent one, Obama, back in 2009, was quite famous just for the sheer amount of people that showed up. Okay, we're in the mall, which goes from the Capitol building right down the other end. 1.9 miles later is the Lincoln Memorial, and we're going to make our way down there. The Washington Monument looks at the back of the White House, which is over that way, about not even that, 300 or 400 metres away from the Lincoln Memorial. So let's do it.
Good idea.
Now here's the first for the USA. It's 1 o'clock. We're quite hungry. It's lunchtime. Very small breakfast. And there's nowhere to eat. There's just nowhere. Yesterday when we were walking around up in town over there, up and around our hotel in the sort of 2 kilometre area around, there were every 3 shops for eateries, weren't they?
Yeah, and we weren't hungry then.
We weren't hungry then. There's not one place, and we've been walking for miles. So we'll keep you posted as to what happens, because we could fade away. Crisis averted. Didn't you get the combo?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, you got the. Oh, that's right. You got the combo. So there's pepperoni pizza, and I got the hot dog, which is under here somewhere.
Yep.
Ah, yes. We'll live.
Real cool.
It's an outstanding American hot dog as usual. The sausages of Kransky's are always huge,
Very good.
aren't they?
ones,
They're very and taste ridden.
Seem to be. I didn't have it today, but seem to be.
Total of $15.50 for the lot. And we're more than full. We will be when I finish this.
True.
Halfway. And over there we have the back lawn of the White House. Look at that. A bit further is the World War II memorial. Which is the end of the wading pool. The 48 columns represents every state, as it was at the end of 1945. This is the Korean War memorial. And it's very effective. Perhaps no other symbol represents the American ideal like the one that's behind me. The statue of the most important American of them all, Abe Lincoln.
I've seen this I don't know how many times in film, TV and documentaries and things like that, but to see it in real life is still completely different. It just takes on another life. The folds in his clothing, everything about it, and the imposing structure.
From the spot where Martin Luther King made his I Have a Dream speech, we look out over the wading pool which has been drained and they're rebuilding it. We look down to the monument and to the Capitol behind it. Barbara said it was leaking probably, and that's exactly what's happening. Talking to this local guy just over here on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and I said to him, initially when we were walking up, I said I was a bit disappointed that there was no water in the wading pool because it looks quite bad from down there. I said, but it's not too bad from out here. And he goes, man, you're kidding. He says, you're going to have a collector's item. Every single person that's ever been to this city has got a picture of this area with the water in it. And you're going to have one without the water in it. And that'll be a once in a 100-year event. And I went, now that's thinking. And just across from the Lincoln Memorial, that is the steps of, is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Starting with John Anderson here, every single American killed in Vietnam has their name imprinted on this wall.
Goodness me, the amount of names.
Staggering.
It's absolutely horrendous.
That's dreadful.
Isn't it?
I reckon it's the most powerful one in America.
Yeah.
I reckon it might be.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I know what you're all wanting to ask. If you don't already know, it's 58,000. the total opposite to all of DC's gleaming white marble buildings. This is all in black, obviously, and that's quite stark. There's a bit of a closer look at the back lawn of the White House, or the big house as I call it. And back past the front of the White House. It's getting to be old hat now. Well, our hotel is pretty close.
It's not too far.
We're looking for luggage.
Yeah.
We've got too much.
Too much stuff.
Okay, that's Vermont down to the right hand side. That's Thomas Circle. That big white structure is the Washington Plaza Hotel, and that's where we're residing while staying in Washington DC, the nation's capital. There's plenty of churches around, including the National City Christian Church, so maybe there's hope for us yet.
Well, don't know about that. But we got a place to stay, that's what's important.
We got a suitcase, well no, it's not a suitcase, it's a bag, but Barbara's going to stuff it full of stuff.
It's going to be packed.
And my back is spasming, but I refuse to lose. It can spasm all it's like when I'm lawn mowing.
So we're just going to lighten the load a little bit before we head back out again for a few more walks around the place.
Yeah. We just got one or two things I want to do before we call it quits. It's 4:05 on Friday, September 16, 2011. And tomorrow morning we go to NYC. This is the hotel foyer, pool area at the back. Very nice. The pool's closed though, I don't know why. But anyway. Thank you, sir. We're heading back out again, back into DC. Well, we've walked about 16 blocks from our hotel, 25 minutes. We're in old school DC here. This is the theatre in which John Wilkes Booth assassinated Abraham Lincoln in 1865. This is unfortunately as close as we're going to get because it's closed. Just bought the prerequisite shot glass from the Hard Rock here. It's about the only thing we buy from the Hard Rock. The only meal that we have not enjoyed the whole trip was at the Hard Rock at Nashville. Speaking of something to eat, it's 5 PM. Let's look for something. I know it's early, but we'll get over and done with and go back and collapse.
It's going early for food.
This is me. This is very much me. $7 it'll be. That's a drink, 2 big slices. Look how thick that pie is. That's a jumbo Sprite. And 2 real big pieces of pizza pie for $7 in total. And because you're so fussy and wanted this and that and everything else with your faster, you're going to be waiting another 5 minutes. I'll have finished. I'll be on my way back from the hotel.
No, you won't. It's worth waiting for.
$8 including tax. Look at the size of it.
It is worth waiting for. Smells good too.
And it already had parmesan on it for you.
Yeah.
That's probably because you asked for it, didn't you? You asked for everything else. You told them how to cook it, basically.
I know it all right.
Come on, taste it so for the fans so we know what it's like.
All right. Good.
I knew it would be. Because if it wasn't, I'd have to eat it. Should explain that that's the garlic bread. And that's the primavera. So it's veggie for BB tonight.
Good stuff.